As for the New Orleans Saints, I feel for the fans of the New Orleans Saints. I feel for you. 2-0, 91 points and going 2-0. You know, if this was college football, the loss by the Dallas Cowboys in Week 2 to the Saints, it would cost you with the committee even more right now, because that Saints team is not the Saints team we have seen in the last month's time. Now, they did have a nice game against the Chiefs up until that fourth quarter, and then Derek Carr got hurt, and we'll hit more on that in a second with Spencer Rattler. But 5 losses in a row, 2-5, staring into the abyss, getting pounded on Thursday Night Football. Brandon Staley had that happen to him, and he got fired. He got fired. But that was a road game against a division opponent in Vegas. This one was a home game against an out-of-conference opponent. However, the guy who coached that team, that has to leave a mark. He's like, I don't want to coach anymore. I need a break. Maybe it's from New Orleans. Hangs out at Fox for a year, goes to Denver 2 seasons later, 33-10 on Drew Brees night. Absolutely smoked. It looked awful. And it featured everything. It featured ineffectiveness on offense. It featured a defensive touchdown at the end that was an absolute kick in the nards because that game was already over. And the defense got run over. Richard Sherman at halftime said the defense was playing as if they wanted their coach fired, which was brought up to Dennis Allen afterwards, and he said that he disagreed with that. But this was the general sense of Dennis Allen after the game last night as the team falls to 2-5.
We're the only ones that can get us out of this. Okay? Nobody, it's not like we're going to have a draft in the middle of the season. You know, nobody's going to be coming in here to be the savior. We're going to have to do it ourselves. And you know, hopefully we'll begin to get some guys back. Because, look, early on in the season, we played good football. So I know this team has it in them. Okay? I got 2 tapes that show me that this team has good football in them. And it's got good coaching in them. But right now we're not playing that way. And obviously there's multitude of reasons why. And we got to figure out how to get back to playing that type of football.
Now, that's a reasonable statement, wouldn't you say? I mean, it's reasonable.
Yeah, very reasonable.
If you look at the tape, what happened against Carolina in Week 1 and at Dallas in Week 2, there's Olave, there's Raheed Shaheed, there's Derek Carr.
They are really banged up.
There's Taysom Hill. There's Marshawn Lattimore at one point throughout the season, and he got hurt again last night. And I mentioned Olave and Shaheed and Carr, and I mentioned everybody that I just mentioned because they got hurt. They're not there. Taysom Hill. And unfortunately for the Saints, Spencer Rattler is the latest example in the NFL of a team relying on a quarterback who is not ready to play professional football at all. 100% not at all. And there's no way to get these kids ready for when the time comes. And the only answer is you cannot have a raw rookie backing up your veteran quarterback in the NFL. I'm loath to say anymore because you never know how ready the kid could be. There, but for the grace of the football gods, go the Falcons right now. We're assuming Michael Penix is ready. If Kirk Cousins has an oblique injury crop up at the end of a Monday Night Football game like what happened to Derek Carr and the Saints, this kid's not ready. And I know you're high on Spencer Rattler, and there's a reason why a lot of folks should be, because he's a talented kid.
Yeah, he's played a lot of football.
He is not ready to play professional football.
Yeah.
And he's being thrown in the mix against a Broncos team that is marauding on defense and can sack you. You're not ready. I mean, if Derek Carr's not coming back for another week or two because this oblique injury is hurt, I mean, this team, and this is not denigrating Spencer Rattler at all. It's about a system in the NFL where kids are pushed up higher, maybe for either cap reasons or for reasons that you don't want to have another veteran backing up a veteran because the first veteran's looking over his shoulder or what have you. It happened to the Jets last year. It's happening right now to the Dolphins because Tua went down. Your backup quarterback better be ready like Joe Flacco. Your backup quarterback better be ready because if he is not, your season is toast almost on the spot 9 times out of 10. And the Saints are in that situation right now.
Yeah, but then you look at what Brock Purdy did. I think a lot of it is coaching and just getting these guys ready to play.
Well, and also weapons around. Obviously, it's I am generalizing, and I appreciate you saying that.
Rattler's in a really tough spot last night.
Right. There's no Shaheed. There's no Taysom Hill.
Right. A lot of his top options are just not available.
And there he is on a short week against the Denver Broncos, who blitz 90 million % of the time. But he's not ready, man.
Tough spot.
He's not ready.
But he looked okay last week.
And the reason why Purdy might have been ready is, maybe it's coaching. But, man, that's Debo, that's Kittle, that's McCaffrey. I mean, that kind of helps when you come out of the chute.
Yeah, what were they supposed to do last night? I think this game was going to go this way.
No, I understand that.
Kind of no matter what.
And which is why I'm saying if you have a quarterback that can actually play football professionally in a highly capable manner, you can overcome the rest of the stuff. But there's too many teams out there with backup quarterbacks who cannot do it. They cannot do it, and there is no system to get them ready for it. And again, if I'm an owner in the NFL, and I understand I'm talking about a short week and who the Saints are missing and everything like that, but I'm talking about what their issue is, not just over the last 2 games, but over potentially the next 2 for them. There is no system. If I'm an owner in the NFL, I am calling in my friend like Kurt Warner and a whole bunch of other retired quarterbacks and a bunch of coaches, and let's come up with a system. I understand that somebody might get hurt playing in another league or playing, practicing a little bit more, but we have to come up with some way where somebody like Spencer Rattler isn't thoroughly unready, as it appears.
I just think there's not a lot of guys. There's not a lot of good quarterbacks out there, man.
But unfortunately,
that's why I think the Steelers are in a great position.
That's another one right there.
You know what I mean?
What a position they are in. And the question is are we really going to see Russell Wilson? Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.